As the final days of December waned, the towering 12-foot pine tree at my parents' mansion in Greenwich shimmered with Swarovski ornaments casting a magical glow across the snow-dusted Maple Avenue. The dining table adorned with Wedgwood china already whispered of the sumptuous Christmas feast to come. I am Jennifer Miller, a real estate agent residing with my husband Michael and our spirited 6-year-old son Tommy in a burgeoning neighborhood just a short drive from this opulent enclave. Michael, with his steady income of about $70 to $100,000 as a middle manager at an IT firm, ensures we lead a contented life, though not one of extravagant wealth. Tommy, a beacon of light at North Street School, is not only bright, but possesses an honesty that endears him to his peers. Influenced by my mother, a revered high school teacher, I have nurtured a deep passion for education. Our evenings are a cherished ritual of homework help and shared stories, a time where learning transcends the classroom. Every Sunday, our family convenes at the grand Victorian mansion of my parents, Robert and Margaret, a stately symbol of Greenwich's storied past. Here, my siblings and I gather: Elizabeth, married to a cardiac surgeon, Catherine, a formidable lawyer, and William, a university professor. Each marriage, in my parents' eyes, a match of prestige and propriety. This mansion, with its white columns and sprawling gardens, not only houses memories, but also stands as a testament to my parents' legacy. My father, once a titan in investment banking, now retired alongside my mother, a socialite with a penchant for philanthropy, uphold their roles as community pillars at the First Presbyterian Church. Yet beneath this facade of tradition and grandeur, we siblings share the weighty task of caring for our aging parents. Elizabeth oversees critical medical appointments. I manage the upkeep and contracts with Heritage Home. Maintenance Catherine handles the legal intricacies of wills and inheritance, and William safeguards the family's financial future. However, recent Sundays have brought a whisper of reluctance from Tommy. "Mom, do I have to go to Grandma's house?" His question pierces my heart, stirring a mix of concern and curiosity about the changing tides within our family. My parents spare no expense on lavish gifts and costly lessons for their other grandchildren, yet their demeanor toward Tommy remains as icy as the winter winds outside. At luncheons held by the Greenwich Women's Club, Mother prattles on about her other grandchildren, their names dancing on her lips like butterflies while Tommy's name barely flutters in the conversation. Our home, though modest compared to my parents' sprawling mansion, brims with the warmth of love and laughter. This modern colonial chosen by Michael and me is a sanctuary where weekend joys are simple yet profound: playing catch with Tommy in the park, or the smoky aroma of backyard barbecues. Oh, can't my parents see the beauty in these unadorned moments? "Hush now, Tommy, your mom and dad are here for you," I whispered, embracing him tightly, my heart swelling with a fierce determination to shield him from any harm. As I stood on our balcony gazing down at the serene horse chestnut trees and the vibrant rose garden, a deep sigh escaped me, the weight of the upcoming family gathering at Christmas pressing down like a heavy cloud. When we arrived at my parents' estate, Elizabeth's luxury SUV was already there, gleaming under the winter sun. Tommy, clutching my hand, his new red sweater slightly askew, whispered, "I don't want to go." "It's all right, my love," I reassured him. "I'm sure Santa has left something magical for you." Michael, with a gentle nudge at Tommy's shoulder, added his own encouragement, though the strain in his voice was palpable. Stepping into the warmth of the house, we were greeted by the enticing scents of roast turkey, cinnamon, and pumpkin pie. The massive 24-pound butterball turkey was already turning golden in the oven. "Jenny, you finally made it." Mother greeted us, her voice cool, her attention fleeting over Tommy as she planted a perfunctory kiss on my cheek. "You're late. Elizabeth's children are already here." From the living room, the lively chatter of my nieces and nephews floated towards us, a stark contrast to the chill we felt upon entering. Underneath the towering 12-foot Christmas tree, a mountain of gifts adorned with vibrant ribbons awaited their eager recipients. Elizabeth's twins were engrossed in their newest gaming console, their laughter filling the room, while Catherine's daughter sat quietly, her new tablet open to a programming tutorial, her eyes bright with discovery. "Merry Christmas, Patricia." My father called out, a glass of scotch in hand. Here I was, still addressed by my maiden name Patricia. He staunchly refused to acknowledge my married name Miller. "Tommy, come here." Elizabeth beckoned. My sister treated Tommy with the same warmth that she extended to all the children. Yet today there was a shadow of apology in her eyes. My, that sweater, did you buy it at Target? Mother's voice dripped with sarcasm as she surveyed Tommy. Yes, it was a $25 sweater from Target, but Tommy had been so delighted with its bright red hue. As dinner time neared, the house buzzed with energy. William, the young professor, offered intellectual discourse that captivated everyone. Catherine regaled us with tales from her law firm, each story more intriguing than the last, and Elizabeth's husband elucidated on the cutting-edge medical technologies. My parents listened, their faces lit with pride. However, when Michael started discussing his work, Father merely grunted in dismissal, swiftly changing the subject. And when Tommy, with all his innocence, tried to share his school adventures, Mother cut him off. Let's save the children's stories for later. The dinner table, a spectacle in itself, was centered around a majestic roast turkey flanked by homemade cranberry sauce, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole, and a special pumpkin pie from Whole Foods. The dishes, presented on Wedgwood china, looked as if they had leapt from the glossy pages of a culinary magazine. Let us say grace. Father began, and as everyone closed their eyes and clasped hands, he prayed, Lord, we thank you for this bountiful meal, our successful children, and our wonderful grandchildren. Yet even within the sanctity of prayer, the invisible lines of discrimination subtly persisted. After the feast, the time for exchanging presents arrived. The whole family gathered around the fireplace, anticipation hanging in the air like the scent of pine. First, Elizabeth's children received their gifts, large boxes wrapped with care, their excitement palpable. As the room brimmed with the latest gadgets and garments, each child was enveloped in their own bubble of joy. Catherine's offspring clutched educational tablets, their eyes wide with wonder. William's heir, meanwhile, beamed with pride over his new premium sports gear and a set of programming tools promising a bright future in tech. The air was alive with the excited chatter of young voices, each note a testament to the joy of the season. Then it was Tommy's turn. Here, Tommy, your turn, Mother announced, extending a modest box towards him. Tommy's eyes sparkled with a mix of hope and anticipation as he delicately peeled away the wrapping. My heart pounded in my chest. The moment seemed to stretch into eternity. As the paper fell away, the box revealed its cruel secret: it was empty. Mother's smile was cold, her voice dripping with venom as she declared, He doesn't need anything. The room, once vibrant, now felt as if all warmth had been sucked out. Tears cascaded down Tommy's cheeks, each drop a silent scream of betrayal. My gaze locked with Mother's, my glare a silent accusation. But what could words do now? I stood, my movements deliberate, and wrapped my arms around my trembling brother, guiding him out of the room. Michael trailed behind us, his silence speaking volumes. As we approached the entrance, the family portraits mocked us from the walls, images of a family that seemed so happy now, a facade that crumbled under the weight of truth. Outside, the snow fell silently, each flake a witness to our sorrow. The festive lights on neighboring houses twinkled with a hollow cheer. In the car, Tommy, still dressed in his vibrant new red sweater, wiped his tears. Michael, with a gentleness that belied his usual stoicism, reassured, Daddy and Mommy love you very much, Tommy. That will never change, no matter what Grandpa and Grandma think. The next morning, my smartphone erupted into life before the dawn had even hinted at breaking. The family group chat was a storm of emotions, anger, sadness, disbelief. Elizabeth's words cut through the noise. What happened last night is absolutely unacceptable. Her legal expertise lent weight to her condemnation. Catherine, always the voice of reason, echoed, Our parents' actions are clear emotional abuse. As a lawyer, I cannot overlook this. Even William, typically the epitome of calm, sent a message that was unusually charged with emotion. As I gazed at the screen, Tommy lay beside me, his small frame exhausted from the night's restless dreams. He had sought refuge in our bedroom, his tiny body finally succumbing to sleep. Meanwhile, in the heart of Manhattan, Catherine's law office was the stage for a family assembly. From the high-rise windows, the cityscape of Greenwich shimmered hazily in the distance, a silent witness to our unfolding drama. Let's delve into this from a legal standpoint. Catherine initiated, her voice steady as she opened her laptop. Discriminatory treatment of grandchildren by grandparents might, under certain circumstances, be actionable in court, though it's a measure of last resort. Elizabeth, ever the doctor, wore an expression of composed concern. What we need, she asserted, are effective sanctions against our parents. Her words hung in the air, a necessary declaration. William, ever the strategist, stood by the whiteboard, his marker poised. I've calculated the impact, he announced, his voice tinged with resolve. If we cease all Sunday dinners, medical transportation, and home maintenance management, here's what happens. He displayed his spreadsheet revealing the stark reality of our parents' opulent lifestyle, sustained by our support. Elizabeth's voice was soft, contemplative. Do you think they even realize we've been footing their Greenwich Country Club dues? She mused aloud, her eyes reflecting a mix of disbelief and resolve. And let's not forget, Catherine interjected, we've been the backbone of the church's charity events too. That afternoon, our resolve turned into action. Elizabeth, with a heavy heart, called our parents' primary physician. I regret to inform you, but we must discontinue the transportation support. She said, her voice a mix of sorrow and determination. Next, Catherine dialed the home maintenance company. We won't be renewing the regular maintenance contract, she informed them, her tone firm, yet tinged with sadness. William, his jaw set, spoke to the investment advisor. Please remove my name from my parents' account management, he instructed, a decision both painful and necessary. The repercussions spread like wildfire through the Greenwich Women's Club private group. The Christmas party incident became the epicenter of conversation, with friends severing ties with our mother one by one. Even within the church community, changes were palpable. Our parents, once as central figures, were quietly eased out of charity event committees, their influence waning as swiftly as the setting sun. Margaret and her siblings seemed adrift, lost in the labyrinth of life without their parents' guiding hands. The church ladies, with their gentle whispers, shared tales of the mansion's decline. The roses, once vibrant, now drooped, neglected and forlorn. Roof leaks went unpatched, and when the heating system faltered, there was no one to summon for aid. The once meticulous tax preparations fell into disarray. Had our parents never realized that we had been the unseen hands managing these worldly affairs for years? How's Tommy? Elizabeth inquired, her voice laced with concern. He's slowly regaining his spirit, I replied. Michael plays baseball with him every evening. The love surrounding him seems to be mending his broken heart. Catherine chimed in, her voice full of warmth. My children want to play with Tommy too. Why don't we have a hot chocolate party at my house this weekend? The cousins, in their innocent joy, played with Tommy, untouched by the complexities of the adult world. Their kindness was a balm to his wounded soul. On a snowy evening, as I gazed out the window at the hushed street, it had been days since we'd heard from our parents. The silence was deafening, and doubts crept in. Was this the right choice? Yet every time I saw Tommy smile, my heart whispered, yes, it was. Shortly after the new year, as if in a dream, our parents appeared at the door. I opened it to find them almost unrecognizable. Mother's meticulously styled hair was now a tangled mess, and Father, usually adorned in his finest, wore a worn cashmere sweater. They seemed to have aged decades in mere weeks. Patricia, would you hear us out? Mother's voice, once so commanding, now trembled with humility. I led them into the living room, where Michael silently served coffee, the aroma mingling with the lingering scent of breakfast toast. Tommy was upstairs, his laughter a melody in the background. Father spoke first, his voice heavy with the weight of confession. The truth is, we're struggling to manage. And then the full extent of their plight unfolded. The appointments at Greenwich Hospital, once a beacon of routine and care for Father, were abruptly canceled, disrupting the rhythm of his health checkups. Meanwhile, the Heritage Home, a symbol of our family's legacy, suffered as its maintenance contract lapsed, leaving issues unattended, whispering tales of neglect through its creaky halls. As if these weren't trials enough, tax preparations loomed over us, their urgency marked by the incessant clamor of late payment notices. In this storm of financial despair, Mother, the pillar of our home, crumbled. Her tears flowed freely as she confessed, it's not enough. We've been living beyond our means, clinging to appearances. Father, ever the stoic, drew a bill from his wallet, a stark reminder from the Greenwich Country Club. Our friends have abandoned us, he murmured, his voice heavy with resignation. We've lost our place at church. Mother's makeup streaked down her cheeks, painting a canvas of sorrow. Father, his voice barely above a whisper, posed a question that hung in the air like a dense fog. Did you know we couldn't survive without your support? Yes, we knew, I answered, my voice steady yet heavy with emotion. But why, Tommy? At that moment, Mother's face transformed a mosaic of pride and regret. I'll be honest, she began, her hands clutching her handkerchief, trembling. I couldn't accept your marriage. A daughter of a prominent Greenwich family marrying a mere IT manager. But Michael is a wonderful husband and father. I interjected, my tone firm yet gentle. Yes. Mother sighed, her gaze drifting out the window, lost in the verdant landscape that once mirrored our prosperous life. But I had my pride, my position in society, my reputation at church, the eyes of my friends. So Tommy, yes, that child, was proof of the marriage that betrayed our expectations. Every week at family dinner, seeing him, Father interrupted, his voice thick with emotion. No, Margaret, that's wrong. Mother turned, surprised by his unexpected defense. We were wrong, Father continued, his voice trembling. Our vanity and pride blinded us to what truly matters. We maintained our luxury lifestyle thanks to your support, and we repay that kindness with cruelty. Mother remained silent, her grip on her handkerchief tight, her thoughts perhaps wrestling with the weight of their misjudgments. We apologize. Father bowed his head deeply. To Tommy and to your family. Yet amidst this poignant confession, a small sound from upstairs broke the heavy silence. Tommy sitting halfway down, his presence, a quiet testament to the love and support that had always been there unacknowledged until now. The tension in the room hung heavy as Tommy's innocent query cut through the air like a sharp knife. Grandma, why don't you like me? His words, so pure and unassuming, stilled the very breath in the room. Mother's face, usually a fortress of composure, crumbled, her eyes betraying a deep unspoken regret. I don't deserve forgiveness, she whispered, her voice trembling under the weight of years of pretense. Yet as she spoke, it seemed as though the mask she had worn for so long began to slip, revealing the raw, vulnerable soul beneath. But if you'll allow me, her voice cracked, could we start over as a real family? I watched, torn between shielding Tommy from this heavy burden and allowing this moment of truth. Yet in Tommy's gaze, there was a wisdom and understanding that even adults couldn't grasp. Don't cry, Grandma, he said, descending the stairs with a child's grace, his red sweater clutched in his small hands. I have my red sweater, I'll let you borrow it. At those words, so innocent yet profound, Mother's defenses shattered entirely. Tears flowed freely, unheeded by the streaks they left in her makeup. Father, silent until now, moved to the window, his gaze lost in the gently falling snow of the new year. Would you give us a chance? Father's voice wavered slightly, a plea wrapped in hope. Michael and I exchanged a glance, and with a small nod from him, I turned back to my parents. But there are conditions, I declared firmly. You must truly accept Tommy and our way of life, not for appearances or social standing, but from your hearts. They nodded a silent agreement to a new beginning, a new chapter in our family's story. 3 months have passed since that pivotal moment. The house on Maple Avenue, once a beacon of opulence, now bears the marks of a simpler life. The membership at the Greenwich Country Club has lapsed, and Mother's cherished Wedgwood china, set once a symbol of status, now gathers dust on a shelf waiting for a new owner. The weekly housekeeping services have been dismissed, and now in the quiet of their garden, my parents tend to the roses themselves. What is true happiness, really? Mother mused one day, her hands clad in work gloves from the hardware store instead of her usual luxury leather ones. Father, setting aside his own past. Father's pride as a retired investment banker had once been his defining trait, but now he found a new sense of purpose, volunteering as a bookkeeper at the local senior center. Although his work there was unpaid, the peace on his face spoke volumes. Money and status weren't everything after all. They weren't, Father murmured one weekend playing catch with Tommy, his voice tinged with a regret that seemed to deepen with every throw. Change, when it came, was gradual, but undeniable. Every Saturday, our parents now grace our home for family dinners. Though the meals aren't as opulent as in the past, the warmth of our homemade lasagna envelops us all. Look, Grandma, I drew this, Tommy exclaimed proudly, displaying his family drawing from school. Small tears glistened in Mother's eyes as she whispered, It's beautiful, Tommy. May I hang it in my room? Her words, once laced with arrogance, now carried a soft, genuine affection. Elizabeth has taken up the mantle of assisting with medical appointments once more. Catherine, with her legal expertise, has restarted consultations, and William, ever the pragmatist, manages their modest household finances. However, this time our support comes with clear conditions. Love should be unconditional. Catherine declared passionately at our siblings' meeting. But support needs conditions. A new support system was thus established, one that sustains our parents' retirement with mutual responsibilities and promises, all documented in a notarized agreement. Not everything has been smooth, of course. Occasionally, Mother's old habits resurface when she's tempted to keep up appearances for her former social circle. But Father, with a gentle reminder, brings her back to earth. Margaret, remember what truly matters. At First Presbyterian Church, our parents have traded their front row seats for a humble pew at the back, seeking genuine prayer over superficial faith. We had strayed from God's teachings. Father confessed to the pastor, his voice heavy with realization. Mother, too, has found her place away from the Greenwich Women's Club, joining a local book club instead. Here, titles and appearances are irrelevant. It's just people sharing their love for books. I never knew such warm connections existed. Mother admitted her honesty, laying bare the simplicity of true connections. In their home, the opulent trappings of wealth had faded, replaced by Tommy's vibrant sketches and the warm glow of family photographs. The towering Christmas tree, once a 12-foot behemoth, now stood humbly at 6 feet, but the moments spent adorning it with love and laughter were beyond measure. Perhaps Mother pondered one day, this is the essence of true luxury. The financial concerns of retirement lingered, yet our parents were now confronting these realities, opting for a life of honesty and modesty. How much had we sacrificed to our own pride and vanity? Father's voice was tinged with both regret and a burgeoning hope. The most profound transformation was in their relationship with Tommy. "Grandpa, thank you for coming to watch my baseball." Tommy's enthusiastic wave to Father from the stands at his Little League game was a sight to behold. "Grandma, thank you for helping me with math." His heartfelt embrace of Mother after homework sessions spoke volumes. A child's pure heart was mending the past, forgiving the errors of the grown-ups. A child's unconditional love was the greatest treasure of all. As Mother quietly wept, reflecting on the once empty Christmas box our family was uncovering, a genuine joy that wealth and prestige could never purchase. It wasn't showy or extravagant, but it was a deep, enduring happiness that nestled into our souls. "There will surely be more challenges ahead," Elizabeth remarked, "but now we understand the true value of family bonds." Outside, the spring sunlight bathed the world in a gentle glow. New buds were sprouting on the horse chestnut trees along Maple Avenue. In the dappled light, Tommy was seen lending a hand to his grandparents in the garden. That box, once void of gifts, was now brimming with cherished memories and invaluable lessons. Thank you for joining us on this journey through our transformation. If our story has touched your heart, please leave a comment, give us a like, share this video, or subscribe to our channel. Your engagement means the world to us, and we look forward to sharing more of our life's lessons with you.